A new era in sim racing broadcasting always begins with a vision. Hello and welcome to Grid Vision's broadcast of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. And of course, we are here with the mini road course series. Actually, this is the penultimate race, second to the last race here at Road America, a 4 mile racetrack with 14 turns, quite a difficult racetrack. Definitely excited to see what these guys have in store for us here at this place. Of course, as I mentioned, we are very close to the end of the season. Of course, my name is Brian Britt, and I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Caleb. How you doing today, Caleb?
Good, Brian. How have you been? How have you been since last week?
Oh, doing great, man. Just been waiting for this race here. Definitely excited to see what it's going to look like. I think it's the way it's looking in practice and in qualifying. It looks like it's going to be another race between, I do believe, Nathan Nicholson and Craig Ganzak once again. I'm curious to see these guys duel it out once again, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, Craig Ganzak, as we have seen in the previous races in this championship. Obviously, a super short championship, only 4 races, and these guys have been going at it since the beginning. So it's going to be exciting to see these two guys go at it again today.
It definitely will be. Now, this is a much different racetrack from what we saw last week at Watkins Glen. This has a lot of straightaways, but also some low-speed corners. So these guys are going to really have the gambit of all kinds of challenge out here. But let's actually take a quick look at the points coming in here to today's race. 15 laps, of course, at Road America. We'll take a quick look, though. Pulling those up now. Craig Ganzak at the top of the board, of course, with 85 points. Only 2 points back, though, is the unlikely consistently finishing driver is Tyler Meeks. I mean, he has definitely been one that has been able to survive and get podiums. And, of course, he is in that second spot. Only 2 points back from Ganzak. Of course, John Lacido sits in the third spot. Fourth place is Steven Shepard. Nathan Nicholson, the one that has had the speed to really come out here and challenge Craig Ganzak, is in fifth. Brad Thacker's in sixth. William Mann Jr. is in seventh. Sheldon Pearson's in eighth. George Young, ninth. Brandon Ball in 10th. So a lot of drivers have some work to do. We do see quite a spread of points there. Still some chances, though, for some guys to really make their presence known here today. I think it's going to be a lot about survival as well at this racetrack. And from what I talked to James Harris a little bit, I was like, what's some of the challenges going to be here tonight? He was like, staying on the track, Caleb.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, staying on the track is going to be one of the hardest things, as we've seen. It is a short championship, like we were mentioning before. Only 4 races, so these guys really have to get as many points as they can, no matter where they finish. I think points finishes is really what all these guys are going to be looking for here, as the championship is getting super close.
Yeah, for sure. And we talked about this being the second to the last race. Well, the last race, I do believe, is at Texas combined. So Texas Motor Speedway, the Roval, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be one I've never actually been to. So I'm really interested to see how that looks. What does that look like? Is it like the Charlotte Roval? I'm very curious. I guess we're going to be having a learning experience next week when that happens. But I do want to also mention that I do believe continuing right after the conclusion of this mini road course season, we're going to be going right into the next Champion Truck Series season at Michigan. So, of course, that one's going to be, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, a 75 lap race there at Michigan. If I'm wrong, I definitely will correct myself later on. But looking forward to that for sure. These guys do not take a week off, and that's why I love about Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. These guys always are all about racing. Don't you love that?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, like we were, I think, talking about last week, Craig Ganzak, um, just kind of losing out a little bit earlier on in last season, and then just getting right back in the car and doing it all over again this season. So these guys are race after race, and it's really amazing to see that these guys really have a no quit attitude.
100%. And of course, we mentioned it. This is a 14 lap race, 15 lap race, I should say. So it sounds quite short, but this is one of the longest road courses that is in America, I do believe, 4 miles long. And that's almost double from what we saw last week at Watkins Glen. Of course, we're going to have a competition caution at about lap 7, I do believe, give or take around that area. Fuel won't be a concern here, but I'm curious to see what tires will look like. I know last week at Watkins Glen, it seemed like it meant a lot more than I think we suspected. What you saying?
Yeah, of course, and I mean, yeah, of course, obviously, fuel is not going to be is not going to come into play this week, but definitely tires is going to be one thing. Tire degradation was obviously a little bit high last week, as we saw. I believe it was Nate Nicholson, getting away with the new tires, and he was very fast on those new tires, and I don't think Craig Ganzak could have really caught up to him. But this week, obviously, going to be something to look out for as well, as we have. 15 laps, I'm sorry, and 1 competition caution.
It looks like we do have the grid set for this evening's action. Craig Ganzak going to be starting up on the pole with Steven Shepard qualified in second. Tyler Meeks is going to be starting in the third spot. Robert Lawrence starts in fourth. James Harris is going to be in fifth. George Young in sixth. John Lucido, seventh. Jason Taylor, eighth. Ninth, Nathan Nicholson, the one that has been fast all season thus far. And Brad Thacker is going to be starting in 10th. So that is going to be a 10-car field here. Of course, these drivers have to make it still all the way around this 4-mile track. So we still have a little bit of time before the green flag does fly. And you mentioned it, though, Craig Ganzak last season narrowly missing getting a championship. Of course, he's already got one under his belt already. Was trying to possibly get another one. He's going to have another chance here this mini road course season and in the next season as well. So he's definitely got a lot of, I'd say, motivation. Of course, Robbie Keneally won last season's championship. And I've been surprised to see that he has not been here. Now, I am noticing, actually, Nathan Nicholson is starting from the pits. That's kind of an interesting call there. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back right before the green flag flies.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with some racing here scheduled for the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. Of course, we still have to get to the front stretch for the green flag flies. Of course, definitely interesting to see that Nathan Nicholson going to be starting from the pits. Now, that could definitely be a little bit of a problem for him. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, he's shown a lot of speed. He was fastest in practice. So we'll have to see how that kind of turns out as we go through the Speedville Johnsonville area. Of course, love this racetrack. Can't wait to see. He's not even in the car yet from what we're hearing. So I'm hoping he makes it to at least a car so he can get out here and run. And it just would be unfortunate. Hopefully he's not having any technical difficulties at the moment.
Yeah, of course, that would be super unfortunate for Nate Nicholson, as he is super close in the championship. He's been the only one to really challenge Craig Ganzak in the past couple of races. It'd be super unfortunate to see him miss out on points like this.
Yeah, definitely would be for sure. Of course, he is, I do believe, fifth in the points and is running out of time in order to be able to actually challenge for the, get into the actual championship hunt. I think he's got the speed to do it, so this would be a heartbreaker, and this would allow Craig Ganzak to possibly run away with it. Of course, Tyler Meeks is only, like I mentioned before, 2 points behind Craig Ganzak, so he has been almost, it's almost a miracle there for Tyler Meeks. I mean, he hasn't shown a ton of speed, but he's been there when it matters.
Yeah, of course, he's always been there to pick up the leftovers if there's anything going on. Obviously, like further ahead, I think in the first race of the season at the Roval, he ended up taking away second place from Nicholson, who put it in the wall, and super unfortunate for Nicholson. But Tyler Meeks became the big winner there, putting his name out there super early in this championship.
I'm also noticing something as well that I just realized. Craig Ganzak, I think, might have an EOL. He is at the end of the pack right now. So that is also going to come into play here. So pace car drops down pit road as we get the green flag for the first time, waiting on Barney the flagman to go ahead and wave that flag. And there it is. Green flag is out for the first time here with the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series at Road America. Steven Shepard, of course, going to be the control car. Side by side for Tyler Meeks going into turn one. Let's see who's going to win this. I mean, of course, this is a high-speed track here. Looks like Shepard, might go off the track, and he does.
He's
off the track, so Steven Shepard's going to lose a lot of spots. Now back to 7th place. even further back than that, he's now back to last. This could
Very,
be the
very
finish that
unfortunate.
Tyler Meeks need. Go ahead.
I said very, very unfortunate for Shepard. Obviously, looks like we have another one off further on in the back, and that's the 55 of Harrison. Nicholson does not make the cut, doesn't get in the car early enough, and he's out of this race early on, so that's not going to help him out in his championship charge. Yeah, let's see what happened to Shepard here in that 55. Seems like
he went off the track, and I think this is what we're going to see what happened to James Harris. I think he might just went a little bit wide, got a little bit into the sand there. He had some right side damage that I think happened in a previous deal. Of course, he is now all the way back in last place as we look up to Tyler Meeks. He's now starting to be chased down by Robert Lawrence. Lawrence, of course, has been one that has been very consistent. We'll have to see what he can do here as we take another replay. Here is, I do believe, going into turn one with Steven Shepard as he was battling with Tyler Meeks. Just took the corner a little bit wide, went off the racetrack. This is what caused him to go all the way back to last there. Of course, he's no longer last at the moment. He's actually in 5th, so he has recovered. You see, he went off the track and lost a lot of spots there. But Tyler Meeks still in the lead at the moment. Side by side, though, I do believe John Lucido and Craig Yanzak. Of course, Yanzak had an EOL to start the race, so battle for third on the move right now.
Gets the move done on the outside. Still battling Craig Yanzak. Gets cleared of John Lucido, I believe. But yeah, Craig Yanzak starting in last place of this race, already up to 3rd place, and that just shows the pace that he has had pretty much all season long. Very excited, very good to see Craig Yanzak up here again, and it just shows the pace. And we have one around that 5 of Lawrence.
Robert Lawrence around right in front of Craig Yanzak. That could have definitely played out terribly for the 3 machine. If we could take a replay and see exactly, this might not be over yet, as it looks like he has got it sorted. Ooh, almost some contact there with Brad Thacker. He is still struggling to get that car under control. If you take a look back here, you see Robert Lawrence was all over Tyler Meeks, just lost it on the exit of the corner and looped it all the way around, did a couple burnouts there, it seems like, and look at that. Yanzak barely able to scoot through. Barely enough room for a truck to get through there. So that is a heartbreaker there for Robert Lawrence.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Seems like he just got loose on the exit there under braking, and we've been talking about this all season. Once you lose the rear of these cars, it's super hard to keep it together. But our 2 championship leaders of Meeks and Yanzak going at it here, and this race is going to have a lot to play for later on in this championship. These guys need as many points as they can get, and if they keep it clean, it's going to be a good one going into the last round.
Look a little bit further back, I do see Steven Shepard starting to put pressure on John Lucido. That is for the 3rd place position. Shepard is, of course, had a problem at the beginning of the race and now is starting to work his way back forward as he looks possibly on the inside here. Not quite able to get there. Of course, with it road course, it's hard to. You got to pick your place where you're going to make those passes. I think Shepard's got a really good race truck. He's got control of the race car, but he's got to really be careful on where he tries to pass.
Yeah, of course, passing here is, I mean, it's not the easiest for these trucks. It seems like a super tight track as we go through this race. But yeah, these guys are definitely going to have to pick out the perfect spot to make these overtakes, maybe down the straight under the draft. So they're going to have to be super smart and not really risk too much here. But they are going to want to move further up in the field, so they're going to have to pick their moves out perfectly.
Yes, almost a case of risk versus reward as we see Lucido goes wide, and that is going to give Steven Shepard the 3rd place position. Of course, Craig Yanzak has now taken the lead from Tyler Meeks. I think Meeks might have had an issue. He had a 4-second lead, and then it all went away, and now he's about 1.5 back from Yanzak. We take a look back here as we watch. Tyler Meeks was in the lead. I think he might have had some sort of unfortunate thing happen here. Oh, got loose on the exit there. Just smashed right into the guardrails.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Tyler Meeks. We have seen him pretty much be there to pick up the leftovers of the guys in the lead, and now it seems like Craig Yanzak was there to return the favor this week and really shot himself to the lead of this race after an unfortunate mistake by Tyler Meeks.
Taking a look through, I do believe, the cockpit camera here of Tyler Meeks to see exactly what happened with his inputs. You see right here, and he was holding a good wheel. I'm surprised that happened. It just really shows how easy it is for these trucks to spin out. And unfortunately, he's going to have some damage along that left side, I do believe. Of course, he is now going to try to protect himself from Steven Shepard. Shepard's been showing some really good pace. Of course, at the moment, Craig Ganzak fastest on the racetrack, 2:17.326 last time by. That is the fastest track we've seen, or fastest lap we've seen thus far, as we're only 3 laps into this show. Oh, Ganzak almost losing it there. You have to attack these corners, but it is a slippery slope. You got to be real careful.
Yeah, slippery slope indeed. These curbs are not nice at all to these trucks as we've seen earlier on in this season. And Craig Ganzak really just trying to push his truck further and further ahead and create that gap to Meeks and Shepard. But they're all going to come further in whenever the competition caution comes out. So he's definitely going to try to build this gap and build this momentum. So whenever we go to competition caution, he's already in his groove, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. That is going to be the case. And, of course, competition caution will come out in about, I do believe, 4 laps. Steven Shepard still working on Tyler Meeks. And I do want to make note as well of the track conditions right now. The track temp at the moment is 121 degrees. When we started this race, it was 119. So it is indeed getting hotter on the surface out here. Problems looks like for John Lucio, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like he's going to be able to maintain and not lose any spots. That just shows how big the gaps are for most of these drivers. I do see also, I do believe Brad Thacker starting to battle with James Harris for the 7th place position. You see the damage on the right side of the 55. So Brad Thacker definitely trying to see if he can't get maybe another point. There's some damage on him as well.
Seems like working on the outside of these turns is going to be their best bet at overtaking. I think we've seen 2 overtakes on that last turn right there around the outside, and it's super great to see these guys are picking out the right moves here. And it seems like that's going to be one of the key overtaking spots as Meeks and Shepard get even closer together. The gaps in between 1 second. Seems like there's 2 truck lengths in between them. So yeah, definitely going to be a race for 2nd place here.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to battle, that's for sure. You see Shepard trying to maybe peek on the inside to see if he can't. Look at that, Tyler Meeks locks it up, and this is going to be the door open for the 13. Side by side at the moment. Do we see some contact? Looks like Steven Shepard's going to get the pass completed. Can the 7 maybe do a crossover? He's still right there on the back bumper. Shepard definitely has been very, very consistent thus far. He made a mistake early, but he has definitely kept his head down and is moving forward at the moment.
Yeah, what a drive by him. And we have the 48 of George Young. The 48 of George Young seems to have gotten loose, or no idea what happened, but lost the truck there. We're going to get a quick replay here.
Yeah, the 48 of George Young he's been struggling all season long when it comes to these road courses. Right there, just locks up the tires. I think he just missed his braking zone.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him. But yeah, obviously it's all going to come to change whenever we go to these ovals here, I believe, next season. So it's going to be super interesting to see. But these guys are still going at it. And that 13 of Shepard already building the gap to that 7 of Meeks. As he gets a little bit loose, keeps it together. But yeah, that 7 of Meeks. Meeks and Shepard really going at it here. It's going to be super important to Meeks to try to find something after the competition caution if he wants to challenge for the championship here.
Yeah, for sure. He's got to get good finish after good finish. But I mean, with Craig Ganzak in the lead, that is not going to be a good for him. Even if he finishes on the podium, he needs to finish better than Craig. And I just don't know if he's got the speed to be able to do that. He's going to be hoping and probably praying to see if Craig Ganzak maybe makes a mistake. As I do believe we're seeing possibly Jason Taylor. He's got a lot of front end damage, starting to get caught by James Harris at the moment. That is for the 6th place position. See that front end damage. This is a track that front end damage, I think, is not what you want to have at all. I mean, this is a straightaway dominant, I'd say, track. And you see right there, with that front end damage, he's very slow. So this is going to allow James Harris to make his way up into 6th place. Pretty easy pass. I mean, if you have any RPMs or horsepower loss with that front end damage, it is going to absolutely kill your straightaway speed, and you can see that evident in Jason Taylor. Of course, it might actually help him in the corners, but this place, I mean, it has corners, but for the most part, it's all straightaways.
Yeah, a lot of straightaways in at this track. I'm sorry, Road America obviously has a lot of straights and some slow speed corners where these guys can look to overtake. But it seems like that straight line speed of Harris was just much better than Taylor's, as he does have front end damage. But as I'm watching these races and seeing these guys go through the corners, Brian, I'm starting to see a lot of sliding on corner exit. I don't know if tire degradation is starting to be a factor here, or these guys just have a lot of damage on their front end.
No, I think that could very well be the factor. Of course, tire degradation, we saw a lot of that last week at Watkins Glen, so I expect that we're going to see it even here as well. I just consider, especially because of the high speeds these guys are having to enter these corners and the amount of braking and things of that nature. So I expect that is going to be something we're going to see a lot more of. Lap time starting to fall off. It looks like Craig Genzak, a little bit of a blinking issue there for him. He still has 8.7 seconds. So hopefully he doesn't end up having a connection issue. But it is something that is always plaguing a lot of these drivers in the service.
Yeah, it seems like that gap was going down by the second pretty much. I think he had an 11-second lead, and now it's going down to 9 and going down by the second as well. But Craig Ganzak, hopefully he can figure it out, and it seems like he's all right now. But yeah, that gap seemed to be coming down super quick. Seems like he got it figured out.
Problems for Robert Lawrence. He's off the racetrack and into the wall. He was in that 5th place spot. He just took a little bit of an excursion off the racetrack. Not going to be good for him. We're going to take a replay and see if we can't find what just happened. You see the damage all along his left side. He's still having problems. As we take a look back at the replay here. Looks like, yeah, just a little bit of a lockup there. Caused him to spin sideways into those tire barriers. Able to keep it going in the right direction. Did not lose a spot, but definitely lost some time there. James Harris actually running about a second faster than him every lap, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Harris maybe eventually catch up here to Lawrence. Looks like we have Steven Shepard that lost a spot to Tyler Meeks, and Meeks is now back up into the 2nd spot. Of course, we're going to take a replay here and see exactly what happened. It looks like, yeah, just went too wide, missed the braking zone into the corner, and he went for a little bit of a trip into the dirt over there. And it looks a lot like lap 1 does. Robert Lawrence again, sideways going through the sand as well. And he spins it around. He's going to lose that spot to James Harris and Jason Taylor. So he is now going to fall all the way back to 7th place. Robert Lawrence definitely having some struggle, still struggling here as he spins it around once again.
Seems like his tires are shot, Brian. He was one of the main guys that I've been watching, and seemed like he was sliding a lot going into these turns. Seems like the braking, the hard braking into these slow speed corners was really affecting the tires. It seems like he's around again into the dirt. I believe, I don't know if this is a replay or not here.
This is the replay, it is.
This is the replay, so yeah, it seems like he's just really, the burnouts to try to get the truck facing straight really has not been helping out his tires, as he has been sliding a lot here. And that's not going to help him out at all, so he's going to be waiting for that competition caution to come out, as he's still getting really loose into those slow speed corners. Go ahead.
Speaking of which, the caution is out, so the competition caution has came out here, so that will be a little bit of a saving grace there for Robert Lawrence, as he's still taking a little bit of a off-road trip there. He's probably going to be hoping that he can get back to pit lane. He seems like that truck maybe has some suspension damage. Something is causing him to not be able to drive it, or maybe just like you said, the tires, maybe rear tires worn out quite substantially. But I think everybody warranted to go down pit road, get a set of tires. Is he still having problems? Goodness, something is broken on that truck, I feel like.
It's either that, or he's looking like he's doing a little bit of showboating here. I don't know if he's drifting around here, but it seems like something in the rear could be going on here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's doing it on purpose. Yeah, it could be that he's just
having a little fun out here.
It looks like Brad Thacker's having a little fun too. He just went through the sand. Yeah, these guys definitely. It's a big challenge racing out here. I mean, even under pace laps, I'd say it's a challenge to get around this place. But while we wait for these guys to all come down pit road, I think now's the perfect time to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the rest of the race here at Road America.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Grid Vision's presentation of Road America with the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. As you can see, everybody is filing down pit road to get themselves a nice fresh set of shoes and put some gas in the tank. Of course, not a lot of adjustments that these guys can make. Of course, this is a fixed series race, but they can mess with the brake bias, so maybe some of these guys might try to do that or adjust on their driving style here, just considering it really, when a fixed setup, it really puts it into your hands. We'll see how these stops go, who wins the race off pit road. While we're waiting on that, we'll go ahead and give a shout out to the title sponsor here for the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series, of course, Champion Power Equipment. Looking for reliable or high performance power equipment to help you tackle any job? Look no further than Champion Power Equipment. Whether you need a portable generator, pressure washer, or any other power tool, Champion has you covered with top of the line products at affordable prices. And as a proud sponsor of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series, they are excited to bring you even more power and performance on and off the track. Visit championpowerequipment.com today to learn more. And it looks like Tyler Meeks able to win, at least come out in second. Looks like Craig Genzak does come out in that first spot. So it looks like no one got any penalties from what I can see. Oh, John Lucido off the racetrack, and we haven't even gone green yet.
Yeah, as we were saying here before, Brian, before we went to commercial break, it is super hard to keep these trucks on track, even under the pace lap. So it seems like his tires were a bit cold for, I believe, Lucido, and just got a little bit deep into braking. I think thought he had a little bit more grip. Tires are still cold, obviously. So yeah, it just goes a bit wide, takes a little excursion off track, and good to see him back on track now.
Yeah, for sure. You got to be careful. I mean, when it comes to pacing around this place, of course, on the fresh tires, a lot of times getting used to those cold tires can be harder than driving them on old tires. So hopefully these guys are going to be able to get them warmed up. And I know when you're out there, I know it wasn't a long run. It was probably about 6 or 7 laps that these guys just completed. But, I mean, after even that, you get used to how those tires are when they're worn out. And when you get new tires on it, it's almost like a new truck.
Exactly. There's so much grip with the new tires, obviously. So it's gonna be interesting to see these guys kind of figure the truck out again, with all the grip that the new tires are gonna bring. Because these guys were driving for who knows how many laps here right before this. I believe it was like 9 laps before this, 9 or 8 laps on those worn tires. So yeah, it's gonna be super interesting to see how these guys play out. As we saw last week, I believe it was Nicholson who was super fast on the when the tires were fresh and when they wore war, it seems like Craig Ganzak was really making up time. But this week, obviously, it could be Tyler Meeks that's better here with the fresh set of tires, or it could be Craig Ganzak running away with it.
Yeah. And it looks like we have had some guys actually utilizing fast repair, so we are going to literally have some guys with new trucks here. I love Brad Thacker's rear end. It says rolling chicane. How about that? That is funny. Of course, pace car lights. There it is right there on your screen. We do appreciate everybody tuning in here to Grid Vision. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitch. We definitely appreciate it. Of course, we even have a Facebook and Twitter. So definitely follow us, and we'll keep you apprised of all the updates and action. We have some really cool things that are going to be coming down the pipeline very soon. Still some blinking issues there from Craig Ganzak. That has got to be a little bit unnerving for some of the drivers that are behind him. As we see the pace car getting ready to take that left turn, or should I say right turn here at the road course. And there he goes down pit road, and the green flag will fly once again here in just a moment. Let's wait for Barney, the flag man, to wave his arms. And there it is. Green flags back out here with the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series at Road America. Side by side still going into turn number 1. Let's see if we have as much drama as we did in the first green flag there. It looks like Robert Lawrence coming off pit road. He's going to be one lap down here. Oh, Tyler Meeks almost having an issue. Almost goes off the track, but is able to maintain. He's still going to fall back to third. Now going to be pressured by John Lucido. Of course, Steven Shepard's now up into second. He's definitely got a lot of speed as well. Tyler Meeks getting a little bit loose off the corner there. Maybe even trying to break the draft on John Lucido. Of course, Craig Ganzak out front. He's got about a 0.6 of a second lead at the moment on Steven Shepard. Side by side, though, I do believe James Harris trying to see if he can't take the spot away from Lucido, and I think he's going to be successful in that regard. 55 up to fourth now. Of course, I tell you that fast repair is going to be very useful to a man like Jason Taylor, who had substantial front end damage. He's now got that thing fixed up and ready to go. As we see, James Harris is going to be seeing if he can't work his way up to get up to Tyler Meeks. Of course, we do have a train of cars. John Lucido, Jason Taylor, and Brad Thacker all right there in a row. As we see Ganzak still pulling away. 1.3 seconds is his lead. Oh, problems for Robert Lawrence. Once again, he spins it around to the grass. And this is going to be causing some damage into the tire barriers. He goes. He has just been having a tough time here today at Road America. Definitely unfortunate to see that for sure, as we see Tyler Meeks trying to chase down Steven Shepard right now, seeing if he can't get up there into that second spot. Of course, Shepard has shown speed, but he has not shown consistency when it comes to not making mistakes. That's one of the golden rules about road course racing. You can be fast for one lap, but if you make a mistake, you got to be able to limit those mistakes. Craig Ganzak, though, almost 1.5 seconds right now. I'm definitely loving what I'm seeing from James Harris. He's got a lot of speed at the moment. I'm thinking he might have the pace to come up here and possibly fight for a podium. He was a little bit inconsistent, I'd say, in that first run, but he's looking a lot better right now. And I'm glad to see that he's kind of refreshed his mind in a lot of ways on this racetrack. The more laps you turn around Road America, I think the better you're going to get. Tyler Meeks, though, right now about 0.7 behind, I do believe, Steven Shepard. We're looking at Jason Taylor, who's not that far behind John Lucido. He's about 0.7 as well. Can he draft up, maybe kind of take away some of that gap? Looks like he did lose a little bit of time on that last little bit. Going to really have to utilize the draft here to catch up. And look at that, really deep, really late braking there. Lucido catches a little bit of the sand in front of him. And look, Steven Shepard's off the racetrack. Tyler Meeks is now going to be up to second. And Lucido's still having problems as well. That was interesting to see two drivers off the track at the same time. And it looks like Jason Taylor is going to move his way up into fifth. Still an opportunity here for John Lucido to possibly maybe do something. But I think Jason Taylor has secured the spot. Now up to 5th. Take a replay here, and we'll check out what just happened. Watching Steven Shepard. He was being chased by Tyler Meeks. Right there, just, I don't know if he got on the brakes too hard. Very difficult place, I'd say, to get on the brakes, and it's so easy to lock these trucks up, wouldn't you say, Caleb? Taking a look back here, we're watching John Lucido with his mistake, and of course, coming up here to now 5 laps to go. Craig Ganzak now 3.5 seconds, 3.6 seconds out in front. And it's just been looking so consistent here as he comes across the line here very shortly to take the 5 lap to go mark. Now, will James Harris catch up to Steven Shepard here? I think it's going to be really the question. Of course, Shepard is about 2.9 seconds in front of Harris, but Harris has definitely been showing some major consistency. You see Shepard, though, has been faster. Last time by, he was about 0.2 faster. But like I said before, you can be faster one lap and then slower the next lap, but you have to be consistent. That is going to be the major key, and you already see some damage on the, I do believe, left side of James Harris once again. Tell you what, there's not going to be a truck out here, I do believe, that's going to be clean by the end of this place, or into this race. Taking a look back, and I do believe Brad Thacker with an issue. And he, of course, is still holding on to the 7th position. See, he has a lockup as well, takes a trip through the sand, and I think he just gets it slowed down in time in order to miss those tire barriers. Look at that. I mean, you could definitely see that sand is not flat. It has a little bit of elevation to it there. But what a race we've seen thus far. Craig Ganzak still having some blinking issues here. But I'll tell you what, Tyler Meeks has really turned up the pace here. Last time by, a 2:17.962. That's actually really quick. It's still about almost a second or so off the pace from Craig Ganzak, and it looks like Brad Thacker stopped on the racetrack here. That rolling chicane definitely became a fixed chicane. That's interesting. It just comes to a stop right here. This is definitely interesting to see. I'm wondering what went wrong there with Brad Thacker. Maybe having a technical issue with his gas pedal. Seems like he's trying to get going, but it's not going. Five laps to go, coming to 4 to go. Of course, Tyler Meeks right now has, I do believe, about 5 seconds to get to Craig Ganzak. Like I said, he has been showing significant speed. Now, this is a different Tyler Meeks than I think we've seen in previous races. He didn't show a ton of speed in the last couple races. Of course, he was able to survive and really get those podiums, I'd say, just by being consistent. But this time around, he is actually showing speed. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think this really shows that he put a lot of prep time into the race tonight. Of course, I do want to give another shout out to one of our sponsors here for the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series, Green Mountain Grills. We all love barbecue. I know I sure do. Green Mountain pellet grills are the top of the line quality grills for all of your grilling needs. Green Mountain Grills also offers the highest quality dry rubs, sauces, pellets, and at not the highest price. Customers enjoy the best possible grilling experience without breaking the bank. Visit either one of their 1,000 locations across the U.S. or visit greenmountaingrills.com for online purchases and much more. Of course, still the battle, I do believe, is starting to rage here a little bit further back. We see George Young going to be making the pass, I do believe, on Brad Thacker. Almost some contact there. I think there might have been a little bit of contact. Brad Thacker trying to hold on to the 7th spot, but George Young wants to get that spot. He's hungry. Almost off the track there for Young. I think he dipped a couple tires there into the grass, so this battle is still on. Thacker getting a little bit of some breathing room here. And that is the closest battle on the racetrack at the moment. That is for 7th place. As you see George Young trying to peek underneath to think about maybe trying to make the pass into turn 1. As we take a nice hood camera, or should I say roof camera, from that Yingling machine. Oh, man, I'm telling you, you can see, look at the run that George Young gets on the exit. Now, that is a key thing about a road course. You don't want to sacrifice your exit speed, and I can see that Brad Thacker is definitely doing that. Got really tight there on the exit, and that is going to give George Young that 7th spot. Of course, now coming, I do believe, to 3 laps to go, as Craig Ganzak has completed lap number 12. He has definitely utterly dominated this race. Started this race at the back of the field, qualified on the pole, but had an EOL penalty that he had to serve. And, of course, he still was able to drive his way up to the front. I think he led pretty much every lap of this race except for possibly one. But he has definitely shown significant pace here. We want to go ahead and do a quick rundown through the field right quick before we get closer and closer to the end here. Craig Ganzak is in the lead. Tyler Meeks is in the 2nd place position. Steven Shepard's in 3rd. James Harris sits in 4th at the moment. Quite a recovery from him. 5th place, John Lucido. 6th place, Jason Taylor. 7th, George Young. 8th, Brad Thacker. We just saw him having some issues. Of course, 9th, Robert Lawrence. He is 5 laps down and out of the race car. He has had a terrible day here today, I'd say. He's probably ready for this race to be over. It definitely has been a fantastic show. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning in here. Appreciate the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series for trusting us in trusting in Grid Vision. We'd love to see some more leagues as well join the Grid Vision family. We do have some openings, so definitely make sure you reach out to us if you'd like to have your league broadcast as well. I know friends and family love to watch and support, and we definitely want to make that the best quality experience that they possibly can have. And of course, you like to probably go back and watch it yourself. We definitely understand, and we want to make that definitely make that happen for you. See Steven Shepard still trying to chase down Tyler Meeks. Not quite able to do so, though. You see the speed difference. Tyler Meeks has definitely increased in pace. Of course, lap times have fallen off, though. I think tire wear is starting to be significant. Of course, we saw a competition caution at around laps 6 to 7. This run is going to be a lot longer than that last one, or not a lot longer, a couple laps longer. So they're going to be in somewhat uncharted territory here. Coming up now to 2 laps to go as Craig Ganzak crosses the line. Can he make it 2 more circuits without a mistake? So far, so good. He has been almost flawless thus far. We want to give another shout out to one of the sponsors here for the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. Of course, that being Blackstone Management Partners. Blackstone Management Partners guarantees an unrivaled one-on-one approach to every client, providing them with solutions and services required to keep their dynamic brands thriving and one step ahead of the ever-changing consumer marketplace. Blackstone Management comprises expertise in marketing, communications, talent management, and event management. Working with their clients, they not only use traditional but state-of-the-art platforms, including mobile marketing, investigative marketing, and cause-driven marketing. Visit them at bsmpartners.com. Definitely a great group of people that could definitely help your business thrive. Definitely can wholeheartedly recommend them. Looks like James Harris maybe with some issues. He just lost 4th place. Looks like John Lucido is going to move up to 4th, so still issues there. Harris going a little bit wide. Able to keep it on the asphalt, though. And looks like Lucido gives the spot back with a mistake of his own. Taking a replay here and seeing exactly what happened. Looks like James Harris got caught possibly by Lucido. Lucido able to make the pass. Oh, maybe a little bit of net code there. Harris able to keep that underneath him. That was impressive. I think they might have had a little bit of net code. iRacing thought they hit each other. Lucido goes way wide off the track completely into the sand. Definitely some big issues there for him. He does fall all the way back to 5th place. Looks like we have another replay here. Steven Shepard maybe with some issues, possibly, yeah. spins it around. Luckily does not lose a position, but he did lose some much needed time to catch up there to Tyler Meeks. Luckily he had quite a gap in between him and James Harris. White flag is out. Craig Ganzak taking the final circuit around Road America. And he has, oh, look, a slow car in the middle of the track. George Young, smoke pouring out of that machine. I do believe he is going to be done for the day. He is a permanent chicane there for a moment. Looks like he's going to take the tow. That is unfortunate for him. That is going to give Brant Thacker, I do believe, the 7th position back. Taking a look back and see what happened here with George Young. He was coming here to take the white flag himself and just locked it up on the entrance of turn 1, smashed into the wall. And that is the result of why the smoke is pouring out of the front of that machine. Definitely unfortunate set of circumstances there. He had quite the recovery, able to work his way back up into 7th place to get by Brad Thacker, but all of that work has come undone with that crucial mistake. Craig Ganzak, though, taking the corners here the final time around this racetrack. He has such a gap, he can definitely wave to all the fans that are stationed all around this racetrack. He has 11 seconds at the moment. The battle is still on, though, for 4th. Cito had gotten back up to Harris. And, of course, Harris now back up into 4th. So who is going to finish in the 4th or 5th position? Can Jason Taylor possibly get a position here, just considering he is right there in the optimal distance? If those guys make a mistake, he could move up into that 4th place spot. Craig Ganzak still having issues here. I hope that he does not blink and not win this race. That could be something that could possibly happen, and that would give the victory to Tyler Meeks. But hopefully he stays steady and solid here as he takes the last couple corners, I do believe. And, yeah, last corner here onto the straightaway. And still blinking there. Come on, Craig. And he will cross the line as the victor. That could have been a bad day there for him. But he will win this race. What a dominant season he has had thus far in the mini road course season. Of course, Tyler Meeks, quite a ways back, but he still will cross the line in 2nd place. Now we're waiting for Steven Shepard, who was about 9-something seconds back. And I do believe he will take 3rd. Waiting on James Harris here. Of course, he, I think, doesn't have a whole lot that can go wrong. John Lucido, I think both of these guys will probably finish in their respective spots. Craig Ganzak's already celebrating, doing burnouts. Definitely a lot of celebrating in order there for that driver, doing some wiggling. You ain't got to take that truck with you. So I think those tires, you can't take them home. What a great race there for Craig Ganzak. Oh, goodness gracious. Big hit there. Tyler Meeks is burning out, too. He's excited about his finish. A lot of smoke pouring out of Craig Ganzak's race car. I don't think he's going to be able to do any more burnouts after that big hit. But let's go ahead and do a quick rundown of the results here for the race. Craig Ganzak comes home in the top spot. Tyler Meeks comes home in 2nd place. That is, I think he's gotten podiums pretty much in every race thus far. Steven Shepard comes home in 3rd. What a recovery for him. James Harris in 4th. John Lucido comes home in 5th. Jason Taylor in 6th. Brant Thacker 7th. Georgie Young in 8th. Robert Lawrence, of course, 7 laps down, I should say, in 9th. Nathan Nicholson did not start the race, unfortunately, so I don't think he'll really get any points here. But definitely great race for sure. We'll definitely get right on into our post-race show. We'll talk to our top 3 if we can. We're starting with Steven Shepard. All right, we got him here in the booth. Steven Shepard, definitely a little bit of a up and down sort of night for you today. I know on the start you kind of had control of the race. And then went a little wide, went to the grass, lost a lot of spots, went all the way back to last. But then you were able to work your way back up And definitely what a recovery. I mean, what do you think was the cause of that initial issue there? Was it just nerves, just locking the tires up? What happened?
Well, I mean, I feel like I got kind of crowded off the track by Meeks at the initial start, but I mean, it was just a good hard start of the race. I mean, it was it could have been anything really. From a driver's point of view, from what I saw, it was just I got kind of crowded, and I just kind of backed out.
Yeah, I definitely understand that for sure. Well, you had a recovery, I mean, and you were able to finish in third. It looked like you had the pace to possibly go up there and battle with Tyler Meeks. You know, what was the goal there? Or were you trying to catch back up to him? What was the priority? Maybe consistency?
So yeah, I mean, I saw that I had pace against Meeks, but then towards the end, his pace just picked up at a point that I couldn't even get back to him. So I was just maintaining a kind of a pace, my own pace, because I was gapping the field behind me, so I wasn't too concerned on getting up to the second place.
Definitely. He seemed like he did pick up some speed there towards the end, and it might just be, you know, getting some seat time out here. What did you do for preparation to get ready for this race?
In all honesty, nothing. I've always been pretty good with the stock cars, stock trucks on road courses. I've won many other tracks like these with trucks and Xfinity. So I have really I'm just comfortable here.
It definitely showed for sure, and you did a great job getting that third place position. Of course, next week we're going to a track I've never been to. Of course, I've been to the oval portion of it, but Texas Combined. I mean, what is that track even like?
So I think that's actually changed, honestly. There's been talk amongst us that about a change in tracks.
Is that right?
So I think I'll let James tell you about it, but there's been talk about there's been multiple tracks mentioned, and I don't really want to say.
Okay, so definitely we have a surprise waiting for us next week. It sounds like. I love it, man. I usually hate surprises, but we'll see how this one unwraps for sure. Unwrap this gift for next week to see what it's going to look like. Who can we give a shout out to after your third place finish here tonight?
All my fans on YouTube right now. I have a good chunk of people that watch me on YouTube, and I have some good support there. They tell me to keep going, basically.
Hey, that's good. You've got some people behind you to kind of keep you going and point it in the right direction. It seemed like it definitely helps out for sure, Steven. We appreciate your time. We'll see you next time, and good luck with whatever track we go to.
Have a good one.
Alrighty, that was Steven Shepard. I do not believe we have access to Tyler Meeks, our second place finisher. We do want to give him a shout out for his great run here tonight. But I guess we're going to talk to the man himself, dominating race here tonight, Craig. I mean, you started, of course, you got the pole, you earned the pole, had an EOL, had to start from the rear of the field. I'm not even sure what you did to get that.
Yeah, well, the hope was that Nate was going to reconnect. And was going to hopefully be able to come to the field with me there. We were going to have a good time, but he did not. He elected not to show up. So we I took my prayer on being able to put on a good show with him, and unfortunately we were only able to do it ourselves. But
so that was voluntarily. Okay.
Mostly, yeah. Nate's would have been required since he was the winner last week, and we've been EOL in the previous week's winner. But I was hoping that he was going to reconnect, and then we could just race with each other through the field, and then have the stage caution, and duke it out again. And that hope just didn't come true.
Well, definitely a great race from you, though. I mean, starting from the rear and still working your way up to lead the majority of the laps here. How difficult was it to deal with traffic there on your march to the front?
Yeah, you have to be very careful with Road America because obviously, so many turns, very easy to forget a marker, put a foot wrong, and there's not very much forgiving here because it's pretty much a 2.5, 3 at max wide track all the way around. So there's not a lot of margin for error, but we were cognizant of that as we were coming through. And, just made sure we were taking care of the rear tires because, boy, could you char those things, at any time. And, just trying to maintain a constant, 217 pace for every lap. And we were able to do that pretty successfully for the most part. Definitely wore them a little bit more in the second run here, because we only did we did drop down into a couple 216s, but you know, we were really well behaved with the pace, and you know, it ended up rewarding us in the end.
Yeah, definitely did, for sure. You were able to be really consistent. Now, what was I know Watkins Glen and this track are completely different. I mean, what was that the difference where you could easily, or was it easier to burn the tires up here?
Extremely, yeah. Road America is a very much more worn surface, and you know, as most of us do know on iRacing, the worn surface factor has that propensity to increase, whether it is actual statistical wear or the feeling of wear. You know, it does it. In this case, it was the feeling of wear, because statistically, tires were not killed. I mean, my lowest tire, even at the end of that run, was right rear at 94. So, while it feels like you're skating, and you know, the qualities of Road America, where you have to be so gentle with your pedal inputs, still laid true, the actual statistical tire wear did not show itself. It was just all in what we felt in our hands and feet as drivers here today.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, it could have been maybe a temperature thing, or, you know, maybe the tires were getting hotter but just not wearing. That's interesting to note. And the track was also very hot, too. You think that might have played into it?
Of course, yeah. I mean, 123-degree track is, I don't even know if boiling is enough of a word to describe it. I mean, but it, you know, it was certainly a hot enough surface for us to put some Blue Line barbecue sauce on, and having I said a rack of ribs. I'm thankful for James Harris for letting me run his barbecue sauce company truck here today. And you know, we have something fun planned for next week. We've seen the attendance numbers take a dip here with this road course mini season, so we have a one race fun race planned next week that James and I just kind of concocted here. Well, mostly James, actually. I can't even take him credit. James just concocted it here. We're gonna release some details here shortly, but I think we're gonna be making left turns only again next week, and I think it's gonna be a really damn good time. So tune in. There's your teaser.
Yeah, definitely a big teaser. It sounds like we got a surprise waiting for us next week. Looking forward to it for sure. Of course, it still will be a points race to determine who's the champion here in the road course series, right?
Yeah, I think it'll count. I mean, the points even here in the road course season, not too significant, as I think it was just more of a tabulation than a prize generation. You know, this is the intention here of mini season, designed to just kind of be a fun thing, and you know, that's why it was. I mean, for me, road courses are everything for me. I think it's probably the most fun discipline on iRacing, but you know, the oval stuff, competition wise, is just so addicting, and we'll be able to I think have that tight competition next week, hopefully, with our little idea that we come up with. It should be a great time.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to it. I'll tell you that. I'm got a lot of anticipation to see what this. You built it up enough. It better be good.
I've done my half of the selling.
That's right. Well, great job to you, Craig. Congratulations on the victory and how good of a season you've had here at the road courses, I should say. Who can we give a shout out to before we let you get to it or get out of here?
Yeah. Another shout out to Blue Line Barbecue for being on the truck. We'll bring this truck back next weekend for the to be determined event. Thanks to Champion Power Equipment for always for all their support. Kevin Kirscher, Blackstone Management Partners. You guys at Good Vision, so just excellent top tier broadcast week in, week out, and even in the events that aren't ours, of course, you carry that over to those too. So thank you to you guys. And Elite Performance Industries for myself. Last race of Rotor Pro coming up this week. Very hopeful to make a push for top 70, and I'd be nothing without them. So huge shout out to them and Team Conti, and we'll see you in 7 days, man. Good time.
Yeah, for sure. Good luck to you in Road to Pro as well, and you have a great night.
Thanks, sir. Take care.
Alrighty, that was Craig Ganzak, winner here tonight at Road America. Definitely fantastic performance and a fantastic season so far from him. I am a little disappointed as well. I was hoping Nathan Nicholson would come out here and race with him, and it still was quite exciting, though we had stuff going on. All 15 laps, there was guys going off the racetrack. There was something to behold, that's for sure. But we definitely appreciate everybody out there tuning in for sure, and congratulations to our top three as well, and can't wait to see what next week holds. I mean, that is going to be interesting. If that's not a reason to tune in, I don't know what is. I'm going to be curious myself where we're going to be going. Well, if you want to find out, make sure you tune in around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Tuesday. And we will be concluding this road course mini series. And of course, right after that, the week after that, we'll be starting a brand new Champion Power Equipment Truck Series season. So looking forward to that. But with that, I do believe it is time to conclude our race here today at Road America. Thanks to the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series for trusting in us to bring their races to the masses. Of course, on behalf of Justin Levine, Taylor Burris, and of course, I do want to give a shout out also to Austin Derbyshire for all his excellent camera work. Of course, Caleb, who had a little bit of some difficulties here tonight. Still, we appreciate him helping us out with the broadcast here. My name is Brian Britt. Thank you for listening to the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series here on Grid Vision. We'll see you next time.